Everyone, I wanted to go over what we're doing today. So you have all typed up a very rough draft of the comparison paper. You are comparing Dana with another character like Kevin, Rufus, Alice, or Sarah, or you're comparing Dana to yourself, or you're comparing Frederick Douglass to yourself. So ultimately, I want to make sure you have all of the necessary components of the paper. So this packet today goes over what your paper should look like. So we're going to be adding not only to this packet, but to your typed draft as well. So the first page is looking at a visual diagram of your paper. So your introduction should consist of a hook, a bridge statement, background information, and a forecasting thesis statement. Now, when we started this process, we started with just the forecasting thesis statement. So Dana and blank, you'll fill in the character's name, share similar, and then you filled in 3 different characteristics. That's all we have right now. So today we're going to go in and add the first 3 items here on this handout in front of you. Okay, I'm going to explain more about that in just a couple minutes. Your thesis statement determines the format for the rest of your paper. So the first body paragraph looks at the very first similarity you listed in the thesis right here. Okay, and so for each piece of information you have found, you will want to make sure that you introduce the evidence by providing a little bit of context. So what's happening in the book, which characters are talking, who are they talking to, that sort of thing. You will cite the evidence. This is with the author's last name. So in this case, it will be Octavia Butler. So you'd put Butler and then the page number, and then you want to explain it. So you're explaining what it means to your reader. Even if it seems obvious, explain it. That will be the first body paragraph. Second body paragraph will be the second similarity you listed in the thesis. Third body paragraph, the third similarity you listed in the thesis. Your conclusion is a transitional phrase. So in conclusion, to summarize, something like that. You will paraphrase your thesis. So basically it's rewriting your thesis, but not using the exact same words. And then you will refer back to your hook. Okay, so you want to kind of tie it all together. Now, the first thing that I want to look at would be the hook. So you have a couple different options, and this is a example sheet of some example hooks. You could start with an anecdote, a brief story about an experience, whether it's yours or someone else's. You could start with a direct quote. So again, something that has been written or spoken by another person. You could use a scene. Scenes usually appeal to our 5 senses. So again, you'd want to make sure that whatever scene or anecdote or quote or any of these hooks, that they apply to what you're writing about. You could use a surprising fact that your audience may not know. You could use a rhetorical question. So basically this is a statement in the form of a question. You could use humor if it applies. Sarcasm. So again, irony, that's meant to mock or convey contempt. Or you could use a statistic. Okay, with facts, numbers, percentages. So again, whatever you choose to use, you want to make sure that it applies to what you've written. All right, the second piece of information here is that you're going to write a bridge sentence that links the hook to the character you're writing about. So this could be something simple like the main character in Octavia Butler's Kindred faces something similar to this situation or something like that. Again, if you want to put a placeholder in right now and just say bridge statement needed and highlight that in a color, that's fine with me, but your final draft will need a bridge statement. The next thing you want to do in your introduction is write a few sentences that provide some background, okay? So I have a little handout that I think will help with this. So when you do a summary, it helps to identify the somebody wanted but so then. So in this case, somebody, like who is our main character? What did the character want? What is like their goal? But what was the problem? What happens in the story? So how does the character or person try to solve the problem? And then what was the resolution or the outcome? How did the story end? So you want to convey this without giving too much away. Okay, that's the tricky part. So you don't want to give too much away. So that is our summary. The next thing you want to do is insert your thesis. So you have already written a thesis statement. So you're just going to insert this on your paper document and then look at what you have typed up and all of the stuff that you have done before. So the hook, the bridge, the background summary, all of that needs to be added to your typed draft. So your outline and your draft should match. Once you're done with that, you will want to go through and do the rest of this packet, making sure that the packet and your draft match. So again, your topic sentence is already written, so you will just write that in. So one similarity between Dana and whichever other character you're focusing on, or Douglas and myself, Douglas and I, is that, okay, so you're going to write your topic sentence there. Then you already have your example. You already have the quote. So you want to put the quote in that you're choosing to use. Put the page number that you found. We've already done Octavia Butler's last name for you in parentheses. Then make sure that you give a little context for the passage. So again, who is talking? What's happening in the book? Why was this said? Again, who's talking? To whom are they speaking? And then explain how this quote proves a similarity between Dana and the other character you're comparing, or Douglas and yourself. So your explanation should be multiple sentences, and if in doubt, please check out the Raises A+ video in the Compare Contrast Resources folder on Schoology. So you'll do that for each example you give. So you'll do that for the book, and then if you do that for another character or for yourself, you will do that as well. Okay, so by Monday, you want to make sure that your outline and your draft match. If you have questions, please ask. Otherwise, good luck working.